in the morning.
Hello dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel on this beautiful day. We are thrilled to once again join us as we delve into the most thrilling and suspenseful events unfolding right before our eyes, revealing the tensions in the jealous relationship between Sienna and Audra. The why in our storyline will heat up with incredibly intense drama as we take you on a journey to explore the scandalous lives of the residents of our beloved Genoa. The neon lights of the Shadow Room were supposed to signal a triumphant new era for Noah Newman, a place where music thumps in time with a fresh start and a booming business. Instead, those flickering strobes have illuminated a toxic, simmering love triangle that is about to explode into a million jagged pieces. If you thought the grand opening was dramatic, you have absolutely no idea what is waiting just around the corner. A ghost from the past has been haunting the VIP sections, and her name is Audra Charles. The sheer audacity of Audra to waltz into Noah's domain, dripping with condescension and armed with a seductive smile, has set the stage for a catastrophic showdown. But the real shocker isn't Audra's blatant flirtation. It is the quiet, lethal retaliation of a woman pushed entirely to her breaking point. Sienna Bacall is no longer playing the victim, and she has just unleashed a financial and personal bombshell that will shake the very foundation of the Shadow Room and Noah's fragile heart. For weeks, the tension has been mounting to an unbearable degree. Sienna has been forced to stand by and watch as Audra Charles effortlessly glides back into Noah's orbit. We all witnessed the brutal public humiliation at the club's grand opening, where Audra mercilessly mocked Sienna's lack of sophistication and business acumen. But what truly shattered Sienna's confidence was not Audra's venomous words, it was Noah's agonizing hesitation. In that critical moment, when a boyfriend should step up and fiercely defend the woman he loves, Noah faltered. He looked at Audra with a lingering trace of that old London familiarity, a dangerous softness that Sienna instantly recognized. That hesitation planted a dark, festering seed of doubt in Sienna's mind. She realized with terrifying clarity that Noah has not completely forgotten the magnetic pull of his former lover. The realization that Audra could simply bat her eyelashes and command Noah's attention was a bitter pill that Sienna flatly refused to swallow. Sienna's anxiety quickly morphed into a hypervigilant paranoia. Every time Noah checked his phone, every time he casually dismissed her concerns about Audra's persistent presence at the club, Sienna felt the ground shifting beneath her feet. Noah, in his classic naive optimism, tried to assure Sienna that Audra was merely a business acquaintance, a remnant of the past who posed absolutely no threat to their future. But Sienna is a survivor of the Las Vegas underworld. She knows a predator when she sees one. She watched Audra's calculated moves, the subtle touches on Noah's arm, the lingering eye contact that communicated volumes of unspoken history. Sienna realized that playing the supportive, understanding girlfriend was a losing strategy. If she wanted to protect her territory and eliminate the threat of Audra Charles once and for all, she could not rely on Noah's wavering boundaries. She had to take matters into her own hands and strike Audra where it would hurt the absolute most, her pristine, untouchable professional reputation. What Audra did not realize as she was busy sipping expensive cocktails and marking her territory was that Sienna is incredibly resourceful. Driven by a potent mixture of jealousy and a desperate need for self-preservation, Sienna began a clandestine investigation into Audra's heavily guarded past. She knew that a woman as ruthless and ambitious as Audra Charles did not climb the corporate ladder without leaving a few skeletons in her closet. Sienna's relentless digging led her away from the glamorous streets of London and straight into the murky, sun-drenched shadows of Los Angeles. She began to connect the dots, following a trail of whispers and financial anomalies that pointed directly to a highly scandalous period in Audra's life. It was a period that intricately involved Holden Novak, a time filled with desperate cover-ups and severe financial deception. Sienna spent countless sleepless nights compiling the data, piecing together a puzzle that revealed Audra not as a brilliant corporate strategist, but as a manipulative fraud who was intimately involved in a massive financial scandal. The sheer volume of evidence Sienna managed to unearth is nothing short of staggering. She did not just find rumors, she found concrete, undeniable proof. We are talking about highly incriminating photographs, deeply compromising text messages, and financial records that clearly outline Audra's involvement in a major deception during her time in Los Angeles alongside Holden. These were not just minor indiscretions, these were career-ending revelations that showcased Audra's willingness to cross any ethical or legal line to secure her own survival and wealth. As Sienna stared at the compiled dossier, she felt a surge of dark, vindictive triumph. This was the silver bullet. This was the weapon that would finally strip away Audra's arrogant facade and expose the ugly, deceitful truth to the entire world. But more importantly, it would expose the truth to Noah Newman. Sienna knew that Noah, despite his lingering affection, possessed a strong moral compass. If he saw the undeniable proof of Audra's toxic, criminal manipulation, the spell would be broken forever. The execution of Sienna's plan was a masterclass in calculated vengeance. She did not confront Audra in a screaming match, nor did she present the evidence to Noah in a tearful plea. That would be too messy, too easily dismissed as the hysterical actions of a jealous girlfriend. Instead, Sienna opted for a clinical, devastatingly anonymous approach. She meticulously organized the photographs, the text transcripts, and the financial documents into a comprehensive, highly explosive dossier. With a few clicks of a button, she sent the encrypted files to the most powerful people in Noah's professional orbit, the entire board of directors of the Shadow Room, and directly to Noah Newman's private inbox. She ensured there were no digital fingerprints leading back to her. It was a ghost strike, a phantom blow designed to cause maximum collateral damage without catching Sienna in the blast radius. The moment Noah opened that email will forever alter the trajectory of his life in Genoa City. He was sitting in his office at the Shadow Room, likely reviewing inventory or planning the next big VIP event, when the anonymous file arrived. As his eyes scanned the first few documents, his expression shifted from mild curiosity to profound, sickening confusion. Then came the photographs, and the unmistakable text messages sent from Audra's personal number detailing the Los Angeles cover-ups. The color drained completely from Noah's face as the horrifying reality set in. The woman he had once loved deeply, the woman he had been foolishly defending to his current girlfriend, was a master manipulator involved in severe financial crimes. The betrayal hit him like a physical blow to the chest. He read through the details of the scandal, the calculated deception involving Holden Novak, and he felt entirely foolish. He had allowed Audra to walk back into his life, to flirt with him, to disrespect Sienna, all while she was hiding a monstrous secret. While Noah was grappling with his shattered perception of Audra, the board of directors of the Shadow Room was experiencing a collective corporate panic attack. The Shadow Room is a brand new venture, highly dependent on pristine public relations and the flawless reputation of its management team. Receiving undeniable proof that a prominent figure closely associating herself with the club is embroiled in a massive financial scandal is a public relations nightmare of epic proportions. The board members immediately convened an emergency, highly confidential meeting. The atmosphere in the boardroom was thick with tension and outrage. They reviewed the anonymous dossier with mounting horror, realizing that Audra's toxic past could easily bleed into their current operations and destroy the club's credibility before it even truly got off the ground. The decision was unanimous and instantaneous. Audra Charles had to be dealt with immediately, and her influence over the club and its CEO had to be scrutinized. The inevitable confrontation was a scene of absolute, unmitigated drama. Audra was summoned to an emergency meeting, likely expecting to discuss VIP strategies or promotional events, wearing her signature look of board superiority. But the moment she walked into the room and saw the grim faces of the board members and the utterly devastated look in Noah's eyes, her arrogant facade faltered. Noah, his voice trembling with a mixture of rage and heartbreak, slid the printed dossier across the heavy mahogany table. Audra's eyes darted over the photographs and the highlighted text messages detailing her financial deceit in Los Angeles. For a fraction of a second, genuine panic flashed across her perfectly contoured face. She tried to deploy her usual tactics: denial, deflection, gaslighting. She attempted to spin the narrative, claiming the documents were forged, a pathetic attempt by jealous rival to ruin her. But the evidence was too detailed, too intricately woven with verifiable facts. Her smooth, persuasive voice cracked as she realized that no amount of corporate doublespeak could save her from this undeniable truth. Watching Audra Charles, the untouchable ice queen of Genoa City, scramble for a lifeline was a stunning reversal of fortune. The board members were entirely unmoved by her desperate attempts to minimize the scandal. They made it abundantly clear that her presence was a massive liability. Her credibility was completely shot, her reputation in tatters. The very position of power and influence she had been so aggressively trying to carve out for herself at the Shadow Room was violently ripped away. Her standing in the company was now hanging by a microscopic thread, with the board demanding immediate accountability. Audra was forced to endure the ultimate humiliation, a total loss of control. She had walked into the club believing she held all the cards, manipulating Noah and tormenting Sienna for her own amusement. Now she was being unceremoniously cornered, her dark secrets exposed to the harsh, unforgiving light of day. For Noah Newman, the aftermath of this revelation is a bitter, agonizing pill to swallow. He is a man who notoriously wears his heart on his sleeve, a man who desperately wants to believe in the inherent goodness of the people he cares about. He had given Audra the benefit of the doubt, allowing his lingering nostalgia for their time in London to blind him to her true nature. Now, he is forced to confront the painful reality that he was nothing more than a pawn in her narcissistic games. The sense of betrayal is profound and deeply personal. He feels foolish for ignoring Sienna's frantic warnings, for dismissing her valid concerns as mere jealousy. Noah is left standing in the wreckage of his shattered illusions, realizing that the woman he once loved is capable of breathtaking deceit. This experience will fundamentally change Noah, forcing him to make an incredibly difficult decision regarding Audra's future at the club and his own romantic boundaries. And where is Sienna Bacall during this spectacular implosion? She is exactly where she planned to be, safely out of the blast radius, watching from a distance with a profound sense of dark satisfaction. She observes the frantic energy around the club, the hushed whispers of the staff, and the defeated slump of Audra's shoulders as she faces the music. Sienna feels a triumphant vindication. She took on one of the most ruthless operators in Genoa City and won. She protected her relationship, eliminated her rival, and secured her territory without ever having to raise her voice or throw a single punch. It is a brilliant, entirely Machiavellian victory. But as Sienna watches Noah grapple with his heartbreak, a tiny sliver of guilt might just pierce her triumphant mood. She has saved him from Audra, yes, but she has also orchestrated a massive trauma in his life. She has manipulated the situation to her advantage, proving that she can be just as calculating and ruthless as the woman she just destroyed. Let us take a moment to be brutally honest about Sienna Bacall. On the surface, you have to applaud her sheer resourcefulness and tenacity. She refused to be the passive, weeping girlfriend watching her man get stolen right in front of her eyes. She took proactive, decisive action. However, the method she chose is deeply concerning. Sienna is playing a highly dangerous, incredibly toxic game. By resorting to anonymous blackmail and corporate sabotage, she is demonstrating a level of dark cunning that rivals the very worst villains in Genoa City. She may have won the battle against Audra, but at what cost to her own soul? If Noah ever discovers that Sienna was the mastermind behind the anonymous dossier, the betrayal he feels toward Audra will pale in comparison to the betrayal he will feel toward the woman sleeping beside him. Sienna has built her victory on a foundation of deceit, and in the world of soap operas, seekers like that have a nasty habit of clawing their way to the surface. As for Audra Charles, it is incredibly difficult to muster even an ounce of sympathy for her current predicament. Audra has operated with a breathtaking level of arrogance since the moment she arrived in town. She has consistently treated people like disposable chess pieces, manipulating emotions and destroying lives purely for her own amusement and professional advancement. Her cruel, public humiliation of Sienna at the grand opening was a masterclass in mean girl toxicity. Seeing her finally face the consequences of her actions, seeing her pristine reputation dragged through the mud of her own making, feels like a long overdue serving of karmic justice. However, anyone who thinks Audra Charles is permanently defeated is vastly underestimating her. Audra is a survivor, a corporate cockroach who can withstand a nuclear blast. She will retreat, she will lick her wounds, and she will undoubtedly plot a revenge so spectacular and devastating that it will make this current scandal look like child's play. Poor, eternally naive Noah Newman, he is the classic tragic romantic hero, constantly drawn to broken, complicated women and always ending up with a shattered heart. You have to feel a profound sense of pity for him. He genuinely tries to see the best in people, which is a beautiful quality, but in a town like Genoa City, it is a fatal flaw. He allowed his lingering attachment to Audra to blind him to her blatant disrespect for his current relationship. He failed to protect Sienna when she needed him most, and now he is paying the ultimate price. Noah is constantly caught in the crossfire of the women in his life, battered by their hidden agendas and toxic rivalries. This latest betrayal needs to be a massive wake-up call for him. He needs to stop being a passive participant in his own romantic life and start setting firm, impenetrable boundaries. Otherwise, he will continue to be the eternal victim, forever picking up the pieces of his broken heart while the women around him wage war. So, what happens next in this explosive saga? The fallout from this anonymous dossier is going to be absolutely catastrophic. Audra Charles is not going to simply pack her bags and leave town quietly. She is going to launch a furious, scorched earth campaign to uncover the identity of the person who leaked her Los Angeles secrets. And given Audra's intelligence, it will not take her long to connect the dots straight back to Sienna Bacall. When Audra realizes she was bested by the woman she deemed unsophisticated and unworthy, her retaliation will be biblical. Furthermore, this scandal is going to drag Holden Novak directly into the messy spotlight. The financial crimes in Los Angeles are intimately tied to his own dark secrets, and Holden is going to panic as his newfound peace is severely threatened. The ripple effects of Sienna's anonymous email are going to cause a massive tidal wave that will drown multiple families. As for Noah and Sienna, their relationship is now built on a ticking time bomb of a secret. Noah believes he has finally seen the truth, but he is completely unaware that the woman comforting him is the architect of his current misery. When the truth inevitably comes out, the explosion will be legendary. We are strapping ourselves in for one of the most intense, emotionally complex storylines of the year, and we cannot wait to see who survives the fallout. What do you think about Sienna's extreme tactics to eliminate Audra, and do you believe Noah will ever uncover the dark truth about who really sent that dossier? Drop your thoughts, theories, and passionate opinions in the comments section below, and do not forget to share this article with your fellow Y and our dicks so we can all obsess over this drama together.